What if I told you that, in the 21st century, while the world was scrolling through smartphones and celebrating progress, an ancient community was being hunted, enslaved, and erased? This is the story of the Yazidi Genocide, one of the darkest chapters of our modern era. But how did it happen? And why did the world stay silent? The Yazidis are a small religious minority, rooted in northern Iraq, with traditions stretching back thousands of years. For centuries, they lived in peace, carrying their faith and rituals through time. But their unique beliefs made them a target, often misunderstood, demonized, and falsely accused of being devil worshippers. Could these centuries of prejudice have set the stage for their near extermination? When ISIS stormed across Iraq in 2014, their message was brutal and uncompromising. Convert, flee, or die. To the Yazidis, there was no mercy. Entire villages were surrounded, families torn apart. But why did ISIS single them out with such ferocity? What was it about the Yazidis that sealed their fate? On August 3, 2014, ISIS descended on Mount Sinjar. Thousands of Yazidis were slaughtered in cold blood. Men were executed. Women and girls were abducted. Children ripped from their mothers' arms. This was not random violence. It was systematic, calculated genocide. The world would later call it a massacre. But for the Yazidis, it was the destruction of their very existence. Perhaps the most chilling element of this genocide was the enslavement of Yazidi women. They were bought and sold in markets, treated as property, and subjected to unimaginable abuse. Survivors tell stories that defy comprehension. How could such atrocities happen in an age of satellites, smartphones, and global media? Where was the outrage when it mattered most? The genocide of the Yazidis unfolded while the world watched. Yes, reports made headlines, but action was too little, too late. Why did global powers hesitate? Why did never again become just another broken promise? And what does that say about the world we live in today? Thousands fled to the top of Mount Sinjar, trapped without food, water, or shelter for days. Families huddled under the blazing sun, waiting for rescue that almost didn't come. Children starved. The elderly collapsed against all odds. Some survived. But at what cost? Can survival in the face of genocide ever truly feel like victory? From the ashes of this horror, survivors have spoken. Nadia Murad, a young Yazidi woman who escaped captivity, would go on to tell the world her story, winning the Nobel Peace Prize. But behind her voice stand thousands more, still broken, still waiting for justice. Will their cries ever be answered? Even today, many perpetrators walk free. The genocide has been recognized by the UN, but recognition is not justice. Mass graves remain unexamined, families remain displaced, and scars run deep. How can healing begin when accountability is missing? Is the Yazidi genocide destined to be another tragedy forgotten by history? We often say, never again, after each atrocity: the Holocaust, Rwanda, Bosnia. Yet here we are again, in the 21st century, with another community shattered, another promise broken. So the real question is this: will we continue to let history repeat itself, or will we finally learn? The Yazidi genocide is not just a story of the past. It is a warning for the future. Hatred, left unchecked, always finds new victims. Their pain must not be forgotten. Their voices must not be silenced. Because if we ignore the Yazidis, we are not only betraying them, we are betraying humanity itself.